Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about the new 2024 Specialized Sorbet, Specialized Roubaix. I say sorbet because there's this place near where I live that they have the best sorbet. I used to get ice cream from there, but I'm vegan, so I get the sorbet now. And so smooth. That's why I say that. And I guess I'm a little bit, I don't want you guys, like, watch this video till the end, because you're gonna think I'm trying to sell you this bike. That's my concern. You're gonna think I'm trying to sell you this bike, but I'm not. I promise. But yeah, the new Specialized Roubaix, made for the cobbles of the Roubaix, and is it in Belgium or France? I can't remember. But I don't ride in the cobbles of Roubaix. I ride in New England. This good old-fashioned American long distance road cycling, bad roads, cracks. I live in the part of the United States. We probably have some of the worst roads in the whole country. And if you think your roads are worse, let me know down below. But it's not like Bolivia though. No, believe me, not like Bolivia, but pretty bad. And I love endurance bikes, and it's funny because everybody's like, you don't need an endurance bike. You're too young for an endurance bike. Don't get one. But I love endurance bikes because, I grew up like playing Forza. I was still in the car guy. I love driving around. I love just being able to get on my bike and be able to do a ton of miles and see a ton of cool nature, like the river behind me, see a bunch of that stuff. So having a bike that lets you do that in comfort and style is really important. I think no matter what your age and no matter what your experience level. I got on this bike and I was thinking about it a little bit, what to say, and my first thought right now is, on a day like today, rainy, remember, I'm into cars too, I grew up watching Top Gear. I remember there's this episode of Top Gear remember that episode of Top Gear in 2012, and Jeremy Clarkson, he gets out in that McLaren 12C when the car was brand new, and, like the Dunsfold Airfield they used to when Top Gear and Jeremy and James and Richard, they're all on the BBC. And he's going around this corner, around this apex, and they always cut this corner, and there's like a little curve on it to save a couple of seconds. Like right out of this cane into this corner, they cut the apex. And he's in the McLaren 12C, and Jeremy's just talking about this car. Like, I haven't been in a supercar that's even half this comfortable. It's so comfortable, it's so smooth, and it shouldn't be. It's weird. It should be stiff. It should be uncomfortable. That's the crazy thing about it, right? But this bike, that's how I felt. I got on this bike and I was literally going around this parking lot, as you can see here. I was going over some cracks and bumps, and usually I get on a bike like an Amonda or like a Cervelo R3 or something like that, and the road feels slightly muted. But in this case, I couldn't feel any of the road. Like, I am not making this up. I was like really shocked at how smooth this bike was, because I had that Domine last year, that SL7, still favorite complete bike I've ever had, so maybe now. Just so smooth, so comfortable. I almost got a Roubaix last time, but everybody was trying to talk me out of it. Everybody was like, oh, you're too young for an endurance bike, you should get something more racy, something more lightweight. The Roubaix is heavy, it's sluggish, don't get the Roubaix. Anything about the Roubaix. And I get on this bike and I'm like, this bike is perfect. Like, it's still, surprisingly, this is the Tiagra model. It felt reasonably fast, and it still felt somewhat light. Now, keep in mind, I didn't go up any climbs. I definitely want to take it on a longer ride. For sure. But it felt just right. We got on this, and you could see the Future Shock doing some of its work. And I remember one time I was in this bike shop, and I was listening to one of the sales associates. I just overheard him saying something to this other customer, and he was saying, and I don't think he was even trying to sell this person, he was just explaining how this worked. He's like, when you're in your car, your suspension's doing a lot of work and you don't even really realize it. And I always thought about that a little bit. I'm like, oh, it seems kind of corny or whatever. But I get it now. Like, this is actually, they're bringing that piece of suspension to a road bike. And it doesn't even seem that, I watched some of the videos, some of the promo and stuff. It doesn't seem like it's as complicated to service as, say, like a mountain bike suspension fork. Because the thing I love about road bikes over mountain bikes is road bikes, usually they're a lot easier to service because, mountain bikes, I would see the same people over and over again servicing their mountain bikes like all the time. These things get worked on like all the time. All the park rats you see going off the jumps and stuff, you see them like every day, just doing service, doing work, doing something to their mountain bike. For road bikes, it's nice because they're kind of like a car. You just get in the car, you can ride it around. It's a little bit less maintenance. You have to do maintenance, but it's not quite like as frequent. And what they did with this Future Shock is they tucked it into the head tube, just like the last Roubaix. And the thing that blew my mind is something that they specialized for doing this. People like to say specialized is like, oh, they just market stuff. They don't make bikes. They make these bikes in China, and they just make proprietary stuff that we have to buy every year. And there's even this older guy at one point, he's like, oh, do you have one of those Roubaix? Like, man, that's such a stupid design. The spring, you got to replace that. You're going to be able to get parts for that in 10 years or whatever. And literally, if you watch, like, look up some of these promos, the guys from Specialized were literally like, we made the new Future Shock 3 compatible back to the last, like the first Roubaix where they were doing Future Shock in 2017, I think. And I'm like, that's so amazing. Like, it proves to me that, they want people to ride, they're cyclists, they care about the environment, they want to make stuff backwards compatible. I thought that was just such a cool thing that they did, and it really shows that they care. Now, do they want to sell you a more expensive $14,000 S-Works bike? Yeah, they do. So there is that. But, I mean, as far as that goes, like, that's so great. Making it backwards compatible that far, I just thought was amazing. That was something I did not see coming at all. So you can use your Future Shock 3 instead of your Future Shock 1.5 or your Future Shock 2. Like, it was great. And it's just such a great piece. And it's in a lot of other Specialized bikes too. So it's something that's going to be around and you're going to be able to get parts for. Which I know, especially if you're doing a lot of miles, that's a really important thing, to have that peace of mind that you can do that and you get parts for it. You're going to be doing a lot of miles. But yeah, I mean, I'm coming at this from someone who's owned a few road bikes. I love riding road bikes. And there are a lot of people that either like everything new that comes out, or they grew up racing in like the 90s or the 2000s. And they're like, oh, anything that's not like an externally routed, simple frame, like Lance Armstrong special looking frame, or traditional road bike shape, the external cable routing, and single mount rim brakes. Anything other than that, that's just garbage. And you don't need anything else. And they like that harsh, aggressive feel. That's cool. And they're going to say this bike is a piece of junk. They're going to say that. But not everybody is like that. Not everybody grew up in kind of that era of road cycling. Now, I've been riding road bikes since 2014. So, still that traditional shape and design of the road bike, but they're starting to get a little bit more modern, a little bit more fatter tubes. They weren't quite at the level now where it's all disc brakes and really wide tires and things like that. But I still kind of feel that shape of that traditional road bike, and I know what these people are talking about, and I know what like one of these more beefed up, endurance bikes with like the wide tires is. So I would say like that's my qualification. I think that's why, like, as a young person, I feel like I have some credibility talking about this stuff, and I'm not like paid by Specialized to say anything or Trek to say anything, Canyon to say anything, and I'm not, I don't have any agenda to make any bike really look bad either, but I really do like this bike. But yeah, I'm so happy to be able to bring you this footage of the new Specialized Roubaix this soon and be able to talk about it. And let me just say, I love how Specialized is giving you the full Shimano group set, the full Tiagra 10-speed group set. So I remember Specialized used to not do that. They would give you the Praxis group set. They would give you that crank, and then they'd give you the rest of the parts. We're expecting the full Shimano Tiagra group set. And for $2,800, that's a lot of money for a Tiagra bike, I understand. But I feel like for the value you're getting with this bike and the new design, I feel like it is not too bad. I rode in that bike. What I would do, I would get one of those if I was you, and get some carbon fiber wheels, because that's going to make that acceleration a lot better. Because when disc brake bikes, the things that really aren't good about them is the heavier wheels in the lower end models. So if you do that, that'll be great. But yeah, I love the bike. Not paid to say that. I genuinely like it. I want to be able to ride a little bit more on it and see how it is. And I want to even make maybe a maintenance video if I end up getting one. Serves that future shot. It's like the ISO speed. So let me know what you guys think, and thank you so much.